three problems.
I can trust him with whatever. Looking around that community, he has provided so much and grown seeds to such extents, and he saves the most unlikely of people. So when I'm despairing that my prayers aren't answered over people being saved, he will save them just in his own time.
Well, the whole weekend was focused on voices and kind of where are we listening, what we're getting our teaching and our influence from. And I think we take advice for all the wrong places with regards to everything really. Money, all these different things, temptation, all these things that lead us to sin. And actually the fact that the voice of wisdom is God, and that's the one that we need to turn to. But yeah, we find it so hard to turn to him at that time, and yet the Bible's there, and that God is all we need in those situations really.
Yeah, it's that first and foremost, before any of these schemes or plans or ideas or things that we come up with to help out in these poorer communities, provide them what they need, actually the first thing that they need is the gospel and is God and is Jesus.
Thinking about sort of like our cultural identities, and obviously we talk a lot about the differences between middle class and working class estates and upbringings and backgrounds and all of that mumble jumble, which can actually get in the way of remembering that our identity is in Christ and we are children of Christ, and the reason we're wanting to plant a church on the Monsell is to reach out and share the gospel with people. We're not trying to teach people how to be middle class or any nonsense like that, thank goodness. And so yeah, just a reminder that actually who I am is a child of God, and that's the most important thing, and that's first and foremost.
That I am a controller and I struggle to give things over to him, that I am constantly looking to myself first, and then when that fails, then I turn to him, and actually I need to be going to him first.
I love to look into techniques and schemes and ideas and how we can do things better and differently, when actually I need to be pointed to the gospel once again and reminded that it comes first above everything else.
We went to church on Sunday morning. It was very much the same as walking into an afternoon service. The message was not dumbed down. It wasn't taken away from what they said in the Bible at all. The message of the gospel was just as strong and just as true and just as bluntly, black and whitely delivered as it is in our church in Avenue. And so that was really great to see.
When you think about people who their sin is very public, they've got to that position because they've sought advice from their parents, which may well have not been wise advice, from friends who may well have been into difficult habits. And when you're seeking those advice, to then turn to the voice of wisdom, you're asking somebody to turn away from everything that their family and friends and social networks have taught them, that we have to be that replacement of a community as a family to support them for what they could potentially lose in their biological family or anything like that. If you're hoping to come and look at help planting and growing a church on the Monsell, if your head turns immediately to trying to help people with all the food banks you can do and all these things, you've probably got the wrong message as to what is needed on the estate.
A lot of the time there might be practically helping in terms of helping people who've got drug addictions and things like that, but at the core of it, it's not trying to convert through love, but convert through the gospel and sharing the actual gospel.
I was really encouraged by their hospitality, that those with so little can actually give so much of their time and their money and their resources.
It is all about community. It's not just enough to have a midweek meeting and a Sunday. Taking them along to the supermarket with you and having a little conversation then, and just drip feeding in the gospel to people and how to live for Jesus just in the odd cup of tea or a conversation over the fence, or bumping into someone while they're walking their dog, little and often creates community, which then creates deep roots in order to be able to have those conversations about the gospel.
Reminded again that we need older people in our team who are, have lived a bit more life than us, because we're all relatively young so far in the team, and we were really struck coming home. We definitely thought on the way home about how more people in our team is just definitely needed, and that's not gonna, it's not gonna be something that I guess ever changes, but it is really
something to pray for sure.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we had a fab time. Thank you, church, for letting us go.